that watches this, which I doubt anybody will, but this is the second part. See what the second part starts with? Graphic Part 1 rules. That's the second part. So those 3 pages, you want to staple them together for the second part. The first part is everything before that. So you should have 3 or 4 pages of method 1, method 2, and method 3.
We're better than
now we've got questions to go over today. And your test is due when? Tonight. Put that up.
I think it's because I have to use my TC number.
It says the 25th.
That's what I'm looking at.
Okay, 25th, but I'm going to go over questions today because this is the last set of homework questions I'm going to cover for this last section, 6.5. So here they are. And this is 6.5, number 4. 6.5, number 4. What do you need to do? Multiply through what? Multiply through by 10, which is the common denominator. And what do we need to highlight?
Inequality and real number.
Real number, yes, real number. So we're going to highlight real number. So that means which number lines can we mark through? The dots, because that's whole numbers. And this is a inequality, which means an open circle. So it's this and this. So we've got to figure out what the problem says. So we take, multiply both sides by 10. And we get x is less than 10. What numbers are less than 10? To the left or to the right? To the left. So B is your answer. Okay, so that's that one. Is that a test question? Yes, it possibly could be a test question. Next question. That's number 4. Number 9. Is this a test question? I guess. I've never seen it before. The following graph shows the total widget production in millions in the years 2005 to 2012. Okay, which years, this is just how to read a dadgum graph. In which years was the number of widgets above 8.7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So what years are those? 6, 7, 9, 10. Which one is 6, 7, 9? Okay, 6, 7, 9, 10. Why did I not pick the 8.7s? Because it has to have an equal sign. And we went over that the first day we went over inequalities. Less than or equal to 8.7. 5, 8, 11, 12. 5, 8, 11. I love how they put these out of order. I don't know if they're trying to confuse you or what. Now, why did I choose 8.7? Because it has an equal to. Above 10.2 or equal to. 2006, 9, and 10. 6, 9, and 10. This is a good question. I like this one.
I see. When it said A, B, C, D, I thought it'd been all of. So by the end of it, I found number A. I literally put all of them because they all.
Less than 7. 2000 and what? 12. That's a good question. I like that one.
I wasn't paying attention to
Next. Number 9, I did that one. Number 9, I did that one. Number 9, I did that one. 9, 9, 9.
And they're all for me. I think the thing wouldn't send. It was acting up. I told you it was acting crazy.
Okay, here's 11. That's okay.
I just clicked it 4 times.
I only fuss if it's Miss Alexandra. A publishing company has a weekly cost equation of C is equal to 80,000 plus 13x, and a weekly revenue equation of R is equal to 21x, where X is the number of books produced in a week. The company loses money when R is less than C. So what are you going to do there? I'm going to do R. What's R?
21x.
21x
Less than
is less than.
80,000 plus 13x.
Perfect. You're so smart.
Thanks. I figured I'd try since I can't even get in to do it. So.
Yeah, that's good. 13x, I guarantee you, if somebody got HP in here, pull the HP up and it'll work. Minus 13x. 21 minus 13 is what, 8? Oh my gosh, we might need a calculator for this. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. X is less than what? 100,000. I mean, did I put too many zeros on this one? Yeah, I did. Is it 80,000? So that'd be 10,000. So X is less than 10,000. Which one is less than?
None. They also lose.
Well, less than is when revenue is less than C. So that would be when they make lower than 10,000, fewer than 10,000 books, the company loses money. So which one says loses less than 10,000 books?
C.
Okay, thank you, because I don't want to have to read all that.
I think that one.
10,000. What?
She thinks it's D. C.
Oh. Okay, that's equal. You're right. Thank you. That's equal to. That's all right, Miss Alexandra. I know why you do that. You want to set me up.
Oh, God. At least we don't see
That way you can make fun of me and say I'm old and stupid.
Did you go on your date?
Shut up. Actually, if you don't know the truth about it, she did text me.
I thought on the message she was saying
She was telling me something, and she texted me, and she said some other thing.
I thought she said that she couldn't go.
You didn't read the whole message, did you?
Oh, we actually did.
No, you didn't.
It cut off at a certain point.
Well, it wasn't as bad as you thought. All right. So I don't mind. I'm very confident. I'm not worried about it. 6.5, number 11. But I don't insult people. You do. A publishing company. Okay, same thing. So that's it. So there's all the questions.
Let me try log in on yours.
No, I've got everything set up. I bet you a donut. I bet you a box of donuts for this class that you'll get in with no problem on that
Okay.
food.
Okay.
You gonna bet me?
We're finna get some donuts.
You'll probably get it online.
It'll get in. We'll go ahead, try it.
Well, I gotta wait for our computer to come up.
All right. Miss Woodward, y'all good?
Yep.
All right, so let's go into our new section of 6.6. Now, as I said, I sent you the handy-dandy, there we go, 6.6 handouts. There they are. Now, I'm just going to read over these because I want you to read them, and some of y'all won't read them because you think you know everything. So, method 1. Why do I highlight that? Because Y has to be by itself in order to use method 1. After you have made sure that Y is by itself, you create a table. 90% of the time, I'm going to use those 5 numbers. 10% of the time, I'm going to use multiples of the what? Denominator. Why? What have I told you? Whenever you have a fraction, get what? Get rid of it. How can you get rid of it? By using multiples of the denominator.
So this is section what, 6.4?
6.6. This is a test by itself. Plot points, draw the line. So here's an example. Now you have to turn it sideways, so hopefully you have your handouts. Turn it sideways. Can I rotate this in Adobe? I don't think I can. Rotate clockwise. There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get trained. So what if you have y is equal to 1/2 x? You use -4, -2, 0, 2, and 4. I'm counting by what? 2's. What if I have 1/3 x? -6, 3, 0, 3, and 6. What if I have -1/4? -8, -4, 0, 4, and 8. It's called critical thinking and using what kind of method? KISS method. You want to keep it what? Keep it simple. What if I have 1/12? -24, -12, 0, 12, and 24. Now let me rotate back. There should be a button up here you can rotate. Now I gotta, how do I go backwards? Now I gotta go around. Hold on a second. There we go. Now, I don't know why I don't have an example. Why don't I have a method 1 example? I was supposed to. No, that's method 2. Okay, we're going to do a method 1 example. I don't know why I don't have a method 1 example, but we're going to do one. So let's go, I'm going to do 2. Let me go to the whiteboard. Are you on yet? Did it work?
Is it your password? That was your ID.
Did it work?
It's like
So it did not work.
I don't know.
Miss Cowan, did it work? Okay. Wow. If you listen.
I think it's because I'm going through Blackboard and I didn't know you had to use.
Why are you going through Blackboard? What did I tell you the first week of class?
Well, because it usually works.
Wait till the week of finals. You'll see how well it works. It crashes like every other day. All right, here we go. I'm going to put 2 examples on the board. This is method 1. Now, will the directions, okay, I want everybody to listen, including you, Miss Alexander. Will the directions tell you which method to use? Yes. This will say graph. It'll say something like this. Graph using, and it's either going to say coordinates. It's going to say plotted points. It's going to say points. Or it's going to say ordered pairs. So I want you to write those down because if you don't use the correct method, you can graph the correct line but get it what? Wrong. Now I'm going to say that again. If you don't use the correct method, you will get the line correct, or you'll get it correct, and you'll get the problem marked wrong. So if you see graph using coordinates, graph using plotted points, graph using points, graph using ordered pair. If you see those directions, you're going to use method 1. And method 1, I'm going to give you 2 examples. Excuse me. We'll do one in blue. Y is equal to 2x minus 7. Then we'll do one in red. We'll do y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 1. So with that method that I showed you on method 1, Oh, I did give y'all an example. Well, it wasn't on the... Huh. Is that the back of the page? It wasn't on that handout. I don't know why it didn't show up. Oh well, y'all got an example, so that's good. I don't know why I didn't see it on the... All right, whatever. So here's my points. 90% of the time, what am I going to use? -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Now, a lot of people are going to ask this question. Hubert, why are you using so many points? I'm lazy and I don't want to have to do as many points. The reason I use 5 points is for several reasons. One, later in another math class, you may go into nonlinears, which means curves. And the only method you can use with nonlinears is method 1. So I get everybody in the habit of using 5 numbers because you have to use at least 5 numbers when you're using nonlinears. The second reason I do it, the second reason I use 5 points. How many points make up a line? 2. How many of those 2 do you have to mess up and get it wrong? 1. So wouldn't it be better to have a few to, kind of have as reinforcements? I know I live in a society where we don't want to raise the bar, but if you have 5 points, you're not going to mess up 5 points unless you totally have no idea what you're doing. So if you make one mathematical error, the other 3 will be there to back it up, to back up your error. So the reason I use 5 is to make sure I don't mess up 1 point. And the third method, I use these 5 points. You have positive to the left of 0, the negative, and to the right of what? 0. So you have positives and negatives showing where it's crossing the origin. So there's several reasons I use 5 points. And the only ones that say why are usually the ones that are just lazy. So, here we go. 2 parentheses, -7. 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 Now this is for the person that didn't create this method. This is for the person that has always sucked at graphing. Put parentheses, and what are you going to plug in?
The X.
The -2, good. -1, 0, 1, 2. And now you're going to chug. Do the math. -2 minus 7, you owe $2. You owe $4, you owe 7, you owe what? You owe 11. You owe $2, you owe $7, you owe what? 0 cancels, you're left with -7. Anybody see a pattern?
Yeah, it's just down.
You're adding 2. So this is going to be -5, and this is going to be negative what?
3.
Let's check it. What's 4 minus 7? -3. So you can either put in the last 2 by your pattern, or you can just continue to do the math. And then we take our handy dandy graph and we plot those points. -2, -11. -1, -9. 0, -7. 1, -5. And 2, -3, which I can. There's some line that looks like that. Now, the graphing on the homework and the test, we usually just ask for 2 points. So you might want to write that down. The homework and the test will ask for 2 points, and you can put either one of those 2. All right, let's go to the red. Which ones am I going to use here?
Wow.
-9, -3, 0, 3, and 9. -1/3, parentheses, plus 1. -1/3, parentheses, plus 1. -1/3, parentheses, plus 1. negative 1/3, parentheses, plus 1, negative 1/3, parentheses, plus 1. So I'm going to plug in negative 9, negative 3, 0, 3, and 9. What's negative 1/3 times negative 9? What's 9 over 3?
What?
2.
3. 3 plus 1 is what?
4.
What's 3 over 3? 1 plus 1? That goes out, so you're left with 1. Anybody see a pattern? We must have done something wrong then. 3 divided by 3, oh, that's negative 1 plus 1, that's 2. 0 plus 1 is 1. There, negative 3 plus 1 is 4, so should be. Let's check the next one. What's negative 1 plus 1? 0. And what's negative 3 plus 1? Check my math there. Negative 9 over negative 3 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Negative 3 over negative 3 is positive 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 plus 1 is 1. It looks like something's wrong, but we're going to check it and see. Negative 9, that's way down here. Negative 4, that's right there. Negative 3, negative 2, 0, 1, 3, and 0. Something's wrong because I've got this doesn't, something's wrong here. So I'm going to plug in 3 again. 3 over 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. I think this one's wrong. No, it's not. Somebody look at my math and see where I'm going wrong.
I am. Let's see.
Something's wrong somewhere. Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is positive 3. Positive 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 divided by 3 is positive 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 plus 1 is 1. 3, negative 3 plus 1, that's negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2.
I mean, all the math's right.
Now, I don't know. Y'all check the line. See if it makes.
I checked all the
Zero's right,
math,
one's
and it's right.
Negative 9 and negative 2 doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
1/3 plus 1. There's my negative. I should have a line. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. I should have a line going this way. And these 2 points. Oh, I know what's wrong. I'm plotting it wrong. Fork? No, I don't want to do that. These 2 points are wrong. So, negative 9, positive 4. It's supposed to be up here. Okay? Negative 3, positive 2. 0 and 1. Well, mine's a little bit off. Okay, because I don't have graph paper. 0 and 1 is right here. 3 and 0, 1, 2, 3. And 9, negative 2. That looks better. I had the points plotted wrong. There you go. Okay, that's example. You also got an example on the back of your example 1 here. Do y'all have an example on the back of your page easily? 2x
method
plus
1?
3. Example, method 1 example, 2x plus 3.
No, mine goes straight to method 2.
Now, I don't know why I missed that. Okay, well, you've got 2 examples here. Anderson, you have 3 examples. I don't know why it didn't do that first one. But anyway, anybody got a question on that one? Now, how many of you should have seen this? Everybody should have seen this one before because this is taught way back in pre-algebra. Now, of course, some of y'all had pre-algebra. How long, Miss Woodward? 1,000 years ago?
That's right.
Yeah. Some of y'all had like 1,000 years ago, and some of y'all had it last semester. I don't know, but everybody should be able to do this one okay. Second method. The second method is when you're going to be using, I'm just going to erase all of this because I don't want to erase the black part. Because the directions will say, it'll just say one thing. It'll say graph using the intercepts. And this is the second method. Method 2, when the directions say graph using the x and y intercept, or it'll say graph using the intercepts. No, I'm going to leave it there just to irritate you. Graph using the x and y intercepts, or it'll say something to do with the intercepts, okay? Not because I like you or anything. All right. Method 2. And what is method 2? Method 2 is called the intercept method. I'm going to go ahead and say y is equal to 2x plus 6. Now you may have an example on your sheet. If it's different from this one, then you have 2 examples. What's the example on this one I use? Oh, I gotta do something different. Sorry. You use this one when y is not by itself. Now again, there's going to be people, Ms. Alexander, that are not going to listen to me. And they're going to try to use method 1 when you should use method 2. And they're going to get the problem wrong. All right? So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. This one is used 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. And that's the example. What did I use on that one? Okay, I used 2x plus 4y is equal. So you got 2 examples. I know you got example 2, didn't you? Easily?
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully you'll have 2 examples. This one and the one on the back. So what do you do first? You draw a BA table. BA table. And that table is going to look like this. And over here, I'm going to put x-intercept. I'm going to write the word out, 0 for y. And the y-intercept, 0 for what? X. Now there's 2 things I want you to realize here. One of them you're going to take in all your classes from here on out. Whenever you want to find the x-intercept, what do you plug in for y? 0. If you want to find the y-intercept, what do you plug in for x? I don't care if you're in marketing. I don't care if you're in chemistry. I don't care if you're in underwater firefighting. I don't care whatever course you're in. If you want to find x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. If you want to find the y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x. Capiche? That's one thing that I want you to learn here. The second thing, why do I put the x-intercept word above that one and the y-intercept here? What is the number 1 mistake students make on this problem on a test? Anybody want to take a guess?
What you asking?
Not using the 0?
They plot the wrong point. They'll plot the x-intercept on the y-axis and the y-intercept on the what? So they do 90% of the math right, but they get 100% of the problem wrong because they plotted on the wrong axis. So why do I put the word on there? so you won't screw it up. So, when do you not use it? You use it whenever x is not, or y is not by itself. Okay, so I'm going to put, now watch what I do here. 2x plus 3y is equal 6. 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Does anybody notice the way I lined the equation up under the, anybody notice anything?
X and the X and the Y and the Y.
Exactly. All you got to do now, plug in what? So 2x plus 3 times 0 is equal to 6. And what happens to that y term?
Gone.
It goes away because 3 times 0 is what? 0. So that goes out. Now a lot of people use different methods here after they know how to do it. I'm showing you the basic KISS method. You do whatever you want to after you learn how to do it. If you want to cover up the term, if you want to erase the term, I don't care. But I don't teach that because that's not the basic. This is the basic KISS method. So now I have 2x is equal to 6. X is equal to what?
3.
And now I take that 3 and I do what? Right there. All right, you do this one. And what happens to the x term?
Cancel.
Goes to 0, cancels. And then you're left with 3y is equal to 6. And y is equal to what?
2.
And that goes right there. Now I want you to draw a graph, and I want you to plot those 2 points for your notebooks. That way you'll have a problem in your notebook, and you have one on the example. Y'all know why I separate this section? Because next to word problems and fractions, what is the next most dreaded thing in algebra?
I'd
Graphics.
rather do the other stuff than this shit.
Well, a lot of people hate graphing. So that's why I break it down. I give you the handouts so you won't have any questions. Excuse me. I like covering excuses. Some students don't like it though.
That's like scrapping.
Some people don't like no excuses.
They've got, yeah.
Her excuse for Hunter. Paul was a...
Oh my gosh.
What?
I just went over last week.
I had him sticks his tongue out. It's gross.
Who sticks his tongue? Do I stick my tongue out?
No, right. She put some pictures with him, and he like, it was gross. I still was at you.
Wait till you get 30, 35 years old and you look back and you go, oh my God. Okay. Let's see, who's up there? Well, okay, I'm going to say y'all are both over 29, maybe.
I am.
Okay. Are you on, is he on his phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now.
My phone wouldn't quit
29.
vibrating.
Y'all are both over 29, right?
No, I'm not
Easily?
saying-
No, just me.
Just you, okay. Well,
Told you I
how
was
old are
late in
you?
the class.
No, not Miss Woodward. How old are you?
I'm 19.
What?
Whatever.
No,
I
he's
swear to
not.
God.
You better not say that because Miss Alexander will make you, she will insult you.
He is not 19.
Okay.
I swear to God.
How many times do you turn around? How many times do you turn around, Miss Woodward, and say, "Oh my gosh, why did I do that?" How many times
A lot.
have you said that?
A lot.
You said it. You said it a lot. Well.
I need to see your license.
Don't get me wrong, I love my kids to death, but almost every time I look at them.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I love my kids, and I tell my kids that. But I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes I wish they'd go down the creek and just stay.
Oh my God. He's not.
I send them down there. I say, "Y'all go down the pond. Y'all go down the creek. Don't come back for a while."
He thought you were over.
I just don't understand why I had so many.
29 is a joke.
I know, but he's saying he's 19. You said he was over 29.
Now, I can't see. I mean, I can barely see
He
them.
looks 40.
Okay, there's another one.
So now you're about to see.
Oh, if he's not going to me.
Okay, now I can see him. Okay, no, let's see your face.
Yeah, your face.
Let's see your face. Now he's not, yeah, he looks 19.
I look younger.
But see, when we see you, you look like you don't have any hair.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Really?
He didn't look like he has any
I'm
hair.
serious.
Plenty of hair.
Because we can't see you. All right, so let's graph this.
Okay.
Here's our 2 points. So I'm going to erase this. Miss Alexander, do me a favor. Don't say anything. Miss Alexander is the kind of person you take somewhere and she gets your ass in a fight.
Obviously, yeah. You should have seen Magro.
All right, so the x-intercept goes on the what axis? The x-axis. The y-intercept goes on the y-axis. Now, there is a way to check because you don't have 5 points. Does anybody know the best way to check on the intercept method?
Plug it back in.
Well, what is it?
The point back into the. I don't know.
Pick a point, and I'm going to pick. What number do you think I'm going to pick to check?
0.
No, I've already
Not
used
0.
0.
Oh,
1. Why am I going to use 1?
down by.
Keep it what?
So,
Keep it simple. Keep it simple, check. X is equal to 1. Plug and chug. So 2 times 1 plus 3y is equal to 6. Minus 2, 3y is equal to 4. So at 1, I should hit 1 1/3. So let's check. 1, 1 1/3. Do I hit the line at 1 1/3? Yes. So that therefore you know that your line is correct. 1, 4/3 is your checkpoint. And that's how you do method 2. Now, how much is left in the 5-minute class?
What's time? 4 over 3.
What?
9 minutes.
9 minutes? I have time to look at method 3. Method 3. When do you use method 3? You use method 3 when y is by itself. Well, Hubert, I thought you said when y is by itself, we use method 1. Yes, but when you use method 3, it's best when you have a what?
Fraction.
A fraction. You can use method 1 with a fraction, but what will this one say? This one will say graph using the slope and y-intercept. So write that down. Graph using the slope and y-intercept. That's what the directions will say. Now, this method is usually the first method students go to. Why? because this is what the teachers like to teach you in algebra, because you don't have to use any what? Math. So, do they go by and teach you the math, or do they try to bypass the math and just teach you the method? They try to just teach you the method, because you would have to use critical thinking and your brain to do the other two. All right? That's why we have students that learn on live PD. All right, so here we go. Y by itself, and you extract the info. Now, when you get Y by itself, and we're going to go over this in the second part, which will be Wednesday, or whatever today is. Monday, so Wednesday, you're going to get Y is equal to mx plus b. And this is in your second part. So your homework tonight, besides working on 6.6 homework, and you might not want to work on it yet, because there's a lot in the second section, easily. There's a lot in the second section that's in the homework, so you might want to wait till Wednesday to do your 6.6 homework. And this is in there. This is your slope. And this is in, turn to your second part right quick. Down 3/4 of the page. Right down at the 3/4 of the page where it says y is equal to mx plus b. This is your slope. This is your y-intercept. And in front of the slope is the sign. The sign says left to right up or left to right down because it's positive or negative. And that's where you get this information right here. So your y-intercept is the first thing you get. So that's going to be 0, comma, b. The sign of this slope is either going to be positive, meaning left to right up, or negative, meaning left to right. This tells you what we call, in science and in math, the positive and negative tells you, and in real life, tells you nothing but what? Direction. Every time you see a negative in real life, there's going to be a, I don't know what the word is. What is a word that says direction? What is that, you grammar people? Conjunction? I don't know. What is it?
Preposition.
Preposition. Meaning below, above, behind. What is your, if you got negative $100 in the bank, what is that? Below zero.
Oh.
If you make if you're a football player and you make 5 yards, positive 5 yards, that's what? Past the line of scrimmage. What's negative 5 yards? Behind the line of scrimmage. So, and then what is this? Vertical over horizontal. So that's going to be this as a fraction. If it's a whole number, it'll be the whole number over 1. If it's a fraction, it'll be 1 over 3. Now here is the, and I'm going to stop right here, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the example. I think we got a couple of minutes for those of you that are having fits.
Sorry, literally a couple of minutes.
There. Y is equal to 3x plus 6. And of course, 3x plus 6, there is your y-intercept, 0, 6. What is the 3? It's positive, so that means that our direction is going to be left to right up. And then our vertical over horizontal is 3 over 1. So I plot the y-intercept. Please work with me here. There. I plot the y-intercept at 3, right here. There's the y-intercept. Now, my direction is left to right up. I can draw a line right through here if I wanted to, just a trace line. And then 3 up. 1, 2, 3. And then 1 over. And then that would be 1 over, I don't have it. Well, you see the 3 up, 1 over, 3 up, 1 over. I don't know why I've got it, but anyway. Oh, 1 over, 3 down. And then 3 up, 1 over. It's supposed to be 1 over. But anyway, to make a long story short, then you plot the points. We'll go over this one again. But I've shown you the 3 methods. Now the next thing that we're going to cover Wednesday will be this. That's going to be graphing part 1 rules. So we're going to go over that, and then you'll be able to do the 6.6 Wednesday, okay? All right, we'll see y'all Wednesday. Get the last section of homework and test.